Imagine this. Your car's been sitting for 3 days. You look at it and think, maybe I should start it, just to keep the engine healthy. Someone once told you, if you don't start your car daily, the engine will get damaged. Another person warned you, the battery will die if you don't run it every day. But then you hear mechanics say something shocking. Starting your car every day without driving, it can actually do more harm than good. So what's the truth? Do modern engines really need to be started daily? Or is this just an old myth that refuses to die? Today, we're going deep inside your engine to uncover the real answer. When you turn the key or press the start button, a complex mechanical system comes to life. Pistons begin moving up and down, the crankshaft rotates, fuel injectors spray fuel, spark plugs ignite combustion, and the oil pump begins circulating oil through tiny passages inside the engine. But here's something most people don't know. The highest engine wear happens during a cold start. A cold start is when the engine has been sitting long enough to cool down completely. During this time, most of the engine oil drains back into the oil pan. When you start the engine, it takes a few seconds for oil pressure to build and for lubrication to fully reach critical components like camshafts, bearings, and cylinder walls. During those few seconds, metal parts are moving with limited lubrication. That brief moment is when the majority of long-term engine wear occurs. Now think about this carefully. If you start your car every single day, but only let it idle for 2 or 3 minutes, and then shut it off, you're repeatedly putting your engine through its most stressful phase without giving it the benefit of reaching proper operating temperature. That's not helping your engine. That's increasing wear cycles. Now let's talk about temperature. Engines are designed to operate at a specific temperature range, usually around 90 to 105 degrees Celsius. When an engine reaches operating temperature, oil flows properly, fuel burns efficiently, moisture inside the engine evaporates. Emission systems function correctly. Internal clearances are optimized. But when you only idle for a few minutes, the engine may never fully warm up, and that creates hidden problems. Fuel condensation can build up inside the cylinders. Water vapor from combustion can accumulate in the exhaust system. Unburned fuel can dilute engine oil. Over time, this can reduce oil quality and increase internal corrosion. So ironically, starting your car daily without driving it long enough can actually create more long-term damage than leaving it alone. Now let's address the battery, because this is where most confusion begins. When you start your car, the battery delivers a powerful burst of electricity to crank the engine. That initial crank uses a significant amount of energy. Once the engine is running, the alternator takes over and recharges the battery. But here's the key detail. The alternator needs time and proper RPM to fully recharge what was used during startup. If you only idle for a few minutes, especially in modern cars with electronics, air conditioning, infotainment systems, and sensors running, the battery may not fully recover the energy it lost during startup. So daily short idling can actually slowly drain your battery instead of maintaining it. If you truly want to maintain battery health, a proper 15 to 20-minute drive is far more effective than a 3-minute idle. Now let's consider modern vehicles. Cars built in the last 10 to 15 years are engineered differently from older vehicles. Older carbureted engines were more sensitive to sitting unused. Fuel could evaporate. Gaskets could dry out. Systems weren't as sealed. Modern fuel-injected engines, however, are sealed, electronically managed, and designed to tolerate periods of inactivity. If a modern car sits for a week or even 2 weeks, it typically does not suffer engine damage, as long as the battery remains charged and fluids are healthy. Manufacturers design vehicles assuming they will not be driven every single day. So the idea that a car must be started daily is largely outdated thinking. But does that mean you should never start a parked car? Not exactly. If your car will sit for more than 2 to 3 weeks, then yes, some action is recommended. But the action isn't just start it. The better solution is take it for a proper drive, at least 20 to 30 minutes. Allow it to reach full operating temperature. Let the transmission cycle through gears. Allow brakes to engage normally. This keeps fluids circulating properly prevents brake surface rust buildup, and fully charges the battery. Simply idling in your driveway does not accomplish these things effectively. Now let's talk about engine oil. Oil degrades over time due to heat cycles, contamination, moisture, fuel dilution. Short, incomplete warm-ups accelerate contamination because the oil never gets hot enough to evaporate moisture. Repeated short idling sessions can make oil break down faster than fewer, longer drives. So from an oil health perspective, daily short starts are not ideal. What about extreme climates? In very cold regions, batteries are under more stress. Oil becomes thicker. Starting requires more power. In such conditions, using a battery maintainer or trickle charger is far better than daily cold starts. In extremely hot climates, excessive idling can increase carbon buildup and waste fuel unnecessarily. Again, proper driving, not idling, is the healthier option. So when is daily starting actually useful? There are a few scenarios. Classic cars with carburetors may benefit from periodic operation. Vehicles stored for months may require preparation routines. Fleet vehicles sometimes follow maintenance schedules involving periodic full warm-ups. But for the average modern daily driver, starting the engine every single day without driving it is unnecessary. Let's simplify everything. If your car sits 3 to 5 days, no problem. 1 week, still fine. 2 weeks, usually fine. More than 3 to 4 weeks? Consider driving it properly or using a battery maintainer. But daily 2-minute idle sessions? Not recommended. There's another factor most people ignore: fuel consumption and carbon buildup. Idling engines run rich mixtures. This can increase carbon deposits in intake valves and combustion chambers over time. Modern engines are optimized for driving conditions, not prolonged stationary idling. That's why many manufacturers actually recommend minimizing idle time. So the real myth we need to destroy is this: starting your car daily keeps it healthy. In reality, proper driving keeps it healthy. Correct oil changes keep it healthy. Maintaining battery charge keeps it healthy. Driving occasionally for a meaningful distance is far better than frequent short idling sessions. So the next time your car sits quietly in the driveway, don't panic, don't feel guilty, and don't rush to start it for 2 minutes just for peace of mind. Your engine doesn't need daily wake-up calls. It needs proper use, proper maintenance, and smart driving habits. Because sometimes the best thing you can do for your car is simply let it rest until you're ready to drive it the way it was designed to be driven.